Welcome back to the Tiger's Den. I'm Chris, and today we're going to go over Outer Worlds, PlayStation 4. That's my copy. What do I think of it? So, Outer Worlds is interesting to me because people essentially said, Chris, get this game if you are a big fan of the newer Fallout games, but you like Obsidian. So, I'm going to get a little divisive right from the get-go. I actually am one of the people that believe Fallout 3 is still superior to Fallout New Vegas. You ready to get more angry? I don't actually care for Obsidian. I own the triple pack of Fallout 1 and 2 and Fallout Tactics. I believe it was Black Isle Studios, Obsidian Entertainment, etc. Fallout 1 and 2 were okay when I was like 9 years old and playing them for the first time. I don't think that they're revolutionary games. I don't think that they move the needle a whole lot for me. They definitely helped build the post-apocalyptic theme, but I do not believe that they were like groundbreaking games like everyone thinks. I just don't. It's my opinion. It's not one that's widely shared, but it is my opinion. So, when Fallout finally came back and was done by Bethesda, we had Fallout 3, Liam Neeson narrating your dad, awesome by the way, and a whole new landscape. We weren't playing in Chicago like we had been in Fallout Tactics, we weren't playing on the West Coast, nope, we were playing all the way on the East Coast now, and Bethesda's kind of kept that going with Fallout 3 and then Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. Anyway, yeah, I definitely believe that Fallout 3 is better than Fallout New Vegas. I like the story, I like the area more. I'm really not a Vegas person. The humor that was in Fallout New Vegas, definitely top notch. But the actual plot of the game was really blah to me. Yeah, it was okay. I still enjoyed playing it. I've enjoyed playing every Fallout. I just don't ever feel the need to revisit them. And that is where we start talking about Outer Worlds. So for Outer Worlds, I have now played through the game 3 times. I played through it once on a harder difficulty, which I streamed some of that. It was very difficult in the opening area because I went mostly persuasion. And I was trying to talk to people on stream. For the first playthrough, yeah, playing on normal is fun. Hard mode here, they do not screw around. It is an interesting role-playing game. I will definitely say that I don't like the growth system here more than I like Fallout's original perk system and stat point system. I think they tried to overcomplicate it here to make it seem like there was more in it than there was in Fallout, so that they could purposely differentiate themselves. And that's great. Absolutely. Purposely differentiate yourself. That's smart. I'm okay with that. I think the upgrade system here is just inferior to everything Fallout's done. And I realize that they did New Vegas' upgrade system. But here's the thing. Fallout's upgrade system is terrible. So having a system that's equal or worse than Fallout's system means nothing to me. It's something that I mostly attempted to avoid other than repairing the whole game. And as someone who's played a lot of Diablo, the idea of repairing is just terrible to me. But here's where Outer Worlds really shines for me. This is something that I'm going to hammer home because this is a majority of the review. I'm not going to spoil any of the story stuff. Really like the companion system here. I think it elevates the game to a place that Fallout wishes it could get to. The companion system here is more compelling than Greedfall. It's just leagues better than Fallout. And I really enjoyed the companion portion. I did not enjoy the constant companion special moves and their punchlines or taglines when they do that. But that's okay. I did, however, enjoy the ability to customize those people the same way you would if you were playing again. Like something like Diablo Solo, you'd customize your partner that's walking around with you. So I really enjoyed that. I did enjoy the classless sort of advancement system in the game, even if I didn't enjoy it as much as Fallout's traditional stat and perks system. And I know I'm comparing the two, but that's inevitable. Uh, I just didn't enjoy it as much. Now, it doesn't make it bad. This system is a little more complicated than it needs to be. When I say complicated, I mean the user interface, because the system's really simple, but it's like they tried to make a bland, crunchy-looking user interface to, like, slap you in the face with, wow, look at how much more we have. And it's not that much more. The graphics in the game, I feel like, are really good. It's mind-boggling to me that the colors, the performance, and the graphics here are so much better when it's like just Obsidian doing this thing like solo versus any of these Bethesda games where they have like truckloads of money to pour into like fix your goddamn engine. Obsidian's got it. So maybe, Bethesda, you should be picking up the phone and asking Obsidian, please, 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 please help us with our engine, because clearly you can do it way better. Now, don't get me wrong, Obsidian does not have giant open world areas like that of, Morrowind or Skyrim or Fallout 3 or 4, but in its gated areas, that's solid. So if they could just take that, expound on that, make it bigger, just like Bethesda likes, do that. Another thing I'll say is the story. This is not like hero worship story. This is everything is kind of shades of gray. And I think what that does is it takes away that kind of Mass Effect Paragon system that you have in these kind of games, and it puts you into this like morally gray, anything you do is wrong, there's no right choice. Everything is just a worse choice or a bad choice. Which one do you think is worse? And what I like about that, what I like about the leveling up and upgrade system here, what I like about the companion system here is that all of these things paired with a short story encourages me to make a whole new character, play him a whole different way, and go at it again. And I want to say that that's the biggest thing this game has going for it above something like Fallout. Now, while those comparisons are inevitable, I'm going to explain to you how I play Fallout or Skyrim. I take a piece of the map and I literally just boom, boom, boom. I'm going to do literally everything in the game. And once I've done everything in the game with a character, I don't feel the need to revisit that game. I had Skyrim literally cleared from top to bottom, left to right on the map. I never felt the need to revisit it. There's no need to make a new character and experience all of those things with a new character. Whereas Fallout is another example of that, because Fallout has a lot of, are you doing things the good guy way or the bad guy way? And it's really obvious as to how things are different in Fallout depending on the way you do it. This game does not make things obvious and in that way. And different. So, picking this shade of gray versus that shade of gray isn't necessarily like slapping you in the face with, well, if you had done this, this would have happened. So I am encouraged to go back. On top of that, the story to this game is a lot shorter than I think the stories have been in Fallout. And I don't think that's a detriment. I think for an open world game like Skyrim or like Fallout, you don't need a long, crazy story, because the story is being made up by the player as they explore and play their character. And I think Outer Worlds does that pretty well. Now, the equipment in the game, none of it excites me. In Fallout, not a lot of it excited me either. It's kind of the thing about a lot of these open world games is none of the equipment really excites me. All of it's just kind of bland. You're just looking at values. And as much as I'm not that big of a Skyrim fan, that was the last game that had equipment that really excited me. And the crafted equipment stuff in that was really exciting. And here, that's not the case, sadly. But I don't want to say that that's okay. I just want to say I don't think it affects my overall feelings on the game, because it's not something I necessarily needed from this game. So at the end of the day, Outer Worlds is a pretty easy sell for me. It's, based on what I've seen, you can get this for well under $60 right now. I think there's going to be some sales as well. I believe you can get it on Xbox, PC, or PlayStation. I played mine on the PlayStation 4. And it performs. It runs great. I look forward to seeing it come out for the Switch. I'm actually going to pass this copy along, and I'll take a look at it when it comes out on the Switch, because I want to see how it's performing there. I love seeing games... well, actually, I love playing games on the PlayStation or the PC, and then seeing how they perform on the Switch, and just being massively impressed with what Nintendo does with what they have. So, should you get Outer Worlds? Well, that's not necessarily a loaded question. It's actually a pretty easy question to figure the answer out to. Do you like any of the 3D Fallout games? Any of them? Any of the 3 that are out? Because if the answer is yes, then I definitely would advise you to pick up Outer Worlds. I think it is similar enough that you'll like it, but different enough that you feel you should pick it up and play through it. If you don't like any of the Fallouts, that's where I'm gonna get into a bit of a murky maybe. Because it comes down to what you don't like about the Fallout games. If it's the performance, then hell yes, get the Outer Worlds. But if it's the moment-to-moment gameplay, a lot of that does feel similar here. Now, there's no VATS system here. A lot of it's first person. I don't like being locked in first person. So a lot of it's first person. And the moment-to-moment gameplay is pretty good. Just like Fallout. But yes, just like Fallout. So, if you're not a big fan of the Fallout games, since they moved to 3D on the PlayStation 3 with Fallout 3, then maybe that's a pass for you. And maybe that's okay. Anyway, I've been Chris. This has been the Tiger's Den. You guys have been great. We've been talking about Outer Worlds. It's fun. It's fantastic. I enjoyed all of my playthroughs. You can actually see part of one of them on the channel. I had to, I don't want to say rush, but I was really focused on getting through that game and getting everything out of it I wanted so I could pass my copy along, but also so I could get to Luigi's Mansion. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys are the best. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, help Ben and I grow the channel. Thank you guys so much. Peace.